I just wanted to give all of you a great big welcome. I see there's 12 participants so far. Thank you for joining us today. The Chamber of Commerce is really excited to offer this to you and just give you something, give back to our members. So all of you that are registered today are chamber members. So thank you for being a chamber member. I'll just take a couple of minutes to introduce Julie. She sent me a beautiful bio. I've just had a good time visiting with her and learning about her job and everything she does out in the Dickinson Chamber. So since January of 2010, Julie has been with the Dickinson Convention and Visitors Bureau, beginning as a sales coordinator to bring meetings, conventions, and sports to Dickinson. As the marketing methods evolved into the primary use of digital marketing, she stepped into the additional role of the social media manager of the CVB. She facilitates digital marketing, website maintenance, and analytical reports of the CVB. In 2018, Julie began using the Google platform and verified the Dickinson CVB's Google Knowledge Panel and the City of Dickinson's Knowledge Panel. More than 1.4 million? Is that the number? That's
it's probably more now, but yeah.
Probably more now. More than 1.4 million views have been counted on the Dickinson, North Dakota Knowledge Panel. She has been accredited for contributing hundreds of photos of Dickinson hospitality business to Google, resulting in nearly 9 million views. She has presented on maximizing your Google presence to the Small Business Development Center State Conference, the North Dakota Recreation and Parks State Conference, the North Dakota Travel Conference, the Dickinson City Commission, the Downtown Dickinson Association, and the North Dakota Main Street Summit. Julie was the recipient of the 2020 Telegraphic Award for Marketing Technology during the Governor's Travel and Tourism Awards. She is a Grow with Google partner, and she is the president of the Destination Marketing Association of North Dakota. I am honored to introduce Julie from the Dickinson Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate your members logging on as well. Before I get started, can everyone hear okay? I want to make sure that there's no issues with any audio or anything. I will be sending this presentation to Lori later today. We'll send it on a file for YouTube where everyone can have access to it as well. So if you have any audio questions or if you're having issues, please let us know. And also, like I said, we'll be sending this out later on. Also, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, I'm going to be pausing at different times. So feel free to put your questions into the chat and then we'll address them either as they come in or at the spot where we stop at. So the more questions, the better, guys. I mean, this is how we learn, is by asking the questions. So please, no question is a dumb question, I promise you, because we're all learning and everyone can learn from the questions that are being asked as well. Let me see here. We have someone trying on the phone now. Yeah, I'm sorry for your, there is someone having trouble with audio, finding the link to the meeting. If you go back, Arnold's Misfit Acres, if you go back to the email, there's also a link to the phone as well. Lori, is that okay? Are they, I'm hoping that they're, I guess I can't tell if they're on or not, but like I said, if they're having, if they still can't get on, we'll still send them the file and hopefully they can jump in on the phone. So getting back here, so Lori, thank you so much for having me on, and thank you to your chamber members for joining us today for the presentation. It's really, stuff like this right now is such a value, and it's what we're covering today is not just Google. I know it's a little misleading because the focus is around Google, but here's the thing, everything is intertwined online. This is not just about Google. Everything we're going to talk about today is free. It'll just take you the time and effort, whether it's you or someone in your office, to go and actually apply these things to your business. And I guarantee you will see incredible results. Like Lori mentioned, I've been with the CVB since 2010. When I was hired to do the, to bring sales, to bring meetings and conventions to Dickinson. And when I was hired as well, we had no social media. That's just how things have changed in the last, 11 years. as social media has changed and everything, so has one's presence online regarding to even how people search for you. So in order to get a good glimpse into how things work online, it's very important to take a look at one's Google Analytics. And this is so important. And if you are not using Google Analytics, you really need to sign up for this. This is a totally free service. Just do a search for Google Analytics. You need a link. This is the traffic to your website. So any traffic that comes to your website from the information that you're going to gain from this is you're going to see what cities people are from when they search for you. You're going to see what pages they're going to on your website. You're also going to see what page they left on, what page was maybe boring to them, which page was important to them, which page are they staying on there a long time? Because if they're staying on your page a long time on a certain page, then maybe we should be plugging that page on social media later on. So like I said, everything is intertwined. So if we take a look at our organic search results to visitdickinson.com, that is our website here at the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And as you can see from the upper right-hand corner, you can search from any time frame. So I went a year out and I just pulled this report yesterday. So organic search. So what does that mean? That is people physically typing in Dickinson Convention and Visitors Bureau into a Google search. And as you can see, almost 40,000 people are using Google to organically search for us as the main traffic source. But here's the thing, we can break down anything on Google Analytics. So if we take organic search and if we break that down even more, we can see that over 34,000 in the last year, almost 87% are using Google as the search engine to find our website. The next search engine, Bing, doesn't even come close. What does that tell us? It tells us that we need to be present on Google. We need to be updating our information. We need to be posting to Google, and we need to be adding those great photos because people are on Google also looking at those awesome pictures on Google. So what is a business profile on Google? And we're really going to talk a lot about this here this morning. So there's several different parts to a business profile. And the best part is that you have access and control to all of these parts. So first of all, your name. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to talk about what it is. And then after that, we're going to talk about how we do all this. So first of all, the name. And this is just an example of one for Village, Tailor, and Cleaners. You can change your name. We want to always make sure that the name is the same as what your name is on your tax forms, because we want us to be found easily. And we don't want to use shortened names, abbreviated names. We want to use exactly what your business is. Overview. As you click overview, you're going to see call, directions, save, and website. People can click right from their phone to call you from your knowledge panel. They can go and get directions and then open it up in Google Maps. They can save it to their phone because maybe they want to come to your business at a later date, or you can also update your website as well. And the best part about all this is that we can get data on all of these links and we can see which one people are using as well. So it's really a very powerful tool. Also, the location. We always want to make sure that our business is updated with the updated address, of course, not PO boxes. Hours, you always want to have your hours updated as well. And we're going to get into that a little later on. Photos and videos, we can plug in those great photos, make it really eye-catching for people to want to come to your business. Reviews, think of this like TripAdvisor, and we're going to get into that as well. And then, of course, those quick links are covered in the overview section as well. So business profiles appear in different places on Google, and up-to-date ones are 2.7 times more likely to be considered reputable. So the more information we apply and put onto our knowledge panel, the more people are going to find us credible, and that's going to bring you more traffic into your doors. And also, so those profiles are not only showing on when people search for your business, but also when they swing over and plug in maps. Maybe they want directions to your business. You're also going to see that knowledge panel shown there as well. So they show up in a couple different spots. So they're always updated on both sides. And up-to-date profiles are 70% more likely to attract location visits and also 50% more likely to lead to a purchase. The proof is here, why it's important, but we just need to take the time to make these changes and to get updated on Google. So how do we do it? How to get started? There's a free business tool called well, actually, so if you search for your business or if you search for your business in Google, if you have that option that says own this business, claim it now, you can click that and then we'll go through the process. But if not, not all businesses have that option because frankly, not all businesses are even open yet. Maybe some of them are going to be opening in a year, so they don't have this information, but there's a way to do it as well. So if you don't see that option here, you can also create one. So how to create a business profile. Again, all of this is free. But the very first thing that we need to do is to create a Google account. And we do that by going to google.com/business. And then we're just going to go to manage now. So we have to be logged in with an email address before we can do all this, because it's all connected to your email address. So again, business.google.com. And then you're going to log in to Google. And you can use your email address that you use at work, or you can create a Gmail. Like me, I use julie@visitdickinson.com because I want all of the traffic, I want all of the data, all the analytics coming right to my email address. I don't want to have to make another one where I have to check a couple different inboxes. The nice thing about Google is that they allow you to use your work one. I find it extremely handy. So go through there and sign into your account. Or create one if you need to. And then once you do that, you're going to find your business. If your business is not listed, you're just going to go down to that blue area where it says add your business to Google. And I know that Lori sent out a sheet the other day describing this process as well. So, everyone's going to be at a different spot with their Google claiming process. So if you're further along the road, that's great. Maybe there's other things that you miss. So, but we're going to get everyone updated on this because it's so important. And then, so we're just going to go through the process of this. We're going to make sure that we spell your business name exactly, again, how it is on the tax forms. We're just going to go through, click next. And then the categories are very important. So we can choose one category and then many other subcategories. And the best thing about this is that you can change them at any time. Ours is Convention and Visitors Bureau, but also we're listed as a gift shop and a informational center and everything. And I'll show you what we're classified as later on. So be sure and choose the category that best represents your business. And then from there, it's going to give you options pertaining to the main category that you chose. And then that's what you select for the subcategories. Now, the location is interesting. If you have a store front, you can choose yes. But some businesses don't have physical addresses. So if you don't have a physical address, you don't have to fill in all of this. Maybe your business is only based online. So you can skip through things, just so you know too. You don't have to complete everything because we can edit all of this later on as well. So enter the complete and official street address. Again, no PO boxes because people can't find you by a PO box, right? They want to find you by the street address because that's what Google is going to pull you up as on maps. And then if you need to add a suite or a floor building number, you can just go to that add a line, and then you can add your information there as well. Maybe you have a service area that is not, maybe you service rugby, but maybe you also service maybe a radius or something. This is where you can do this, plug in that information here if you service customers outside of your location. So that's important too, if you would like to fill that in. Again, everything here is optional. So if you don't want to fill it in, you can just go on to the next spot and then we can complete the rest of the information. Now, you also have an option to include a phone number and a website. So be sure and plug that in. And you're going to also see where it says current website URL. Now, you're going to see below it, two down from there, it says get a free website based on your information. Yes, if you do not have a website, you can create a free, again, it's so crazy, but you can actually make a free website. Google will create it for you based solely off of the information that you have provided to them within your knowledge panel. the Convention and Visitors Bureau here in Dickinson. Our website is visitdickinson.com. We have a beautiful website. You know, we don't need the free one, but if people don't have a website, it's a great option for you. And if you and you can always change it at any time as well. So it's there if you need it. And then again, we're just going to go through the process, verify your connections to the business. You're just going to click finish. And then once you're done there, you're going to need to verify your business. And typically they will mail you a postcard. I know when we signed up a few years ago now, because it was in 2018 when we signed up, I was able to verify by them calling me, and it was really easy. Now it seems like they're requiring the postcard to be sent to you. So if you go through the process, again, you're going to just click mail. And then you just put in your contact information, and then it'll take about 5 days. I know with COVID, several months ago, I know I was seeing and reading that it was taking a bit longer for people to receive their card. But just so you know, it will come in the mail. And once you receive that, you're going to get a card, or excuse me, the card, and then it's going to have a code on there. It's like a 5-digit code. You're just going to plug in that information, and then you're golden. Then you're going to be all set to go. Also, what information, all right, let me back it up here. Okay, so, okay, I think I clicked too much. Okay, so what services do you offer? So once you get that card, you can now plug in other information. So we want to give Google information about your business, and you can choose so many different service categories as well. So as you can see, going back to the example with the shoe repair shop, they give you different options. You know, do you have adhesive repair? Do you have color matching dyes? You can do conditioning. Maybe they don't do heel repair, so you won't want to check that one. So you're going to want to add categories that pertain to your business, and they're more specific, or excuse me, we're going to add services, but these are more specific than the categories. So they're a little different, and they're going to give these to you as it pertains to the category that you initially selected. But you know what, if you don't see one that you offer, maybe you offer something else. Maybe you have a gift shop at your shoe repair shop, which I'm sure you wouldn't. But if you would, you can add custom service there at the bottom, and then you can just plug in gift shop. Seems strange, but it's just an example. But so just so you know, everything is customizable to your business, because we want to provide Google the very most information so that they don't have to crawl through your website to try to find the details. We're giving it right to them, which makes you extremely easy to find in a search. But not only are the categories important to, and the services that you give Google, but this description is huge. So you can provide Google up to 750 characters descriptive text about what your business is. And I encourage you to be consistent across the board. You know, if you have a description on Facebook that you use, you know, maybe you just want to copy and paste that and put that into Google. But here's the thing. Only the first 3 to 4 lines are going to show when they view your business, but then they're going to have to click, you know, view more. So you want to make sure that the most important aspects about your business are within the first 3 to 4 lines, because that's what people see before they expand the text. So be sure and be colorful, be descriptive, because we're giving, again, this information right to Google. They don't have to crawl through the website, and it's going to make your business easier to find on a search as well. And photos. This is so important. And we're going to talk about this a little later on though. But photos really bring color to your business. And this is a very similar feel as Facebook, you know, where you have the cover photo, where you have your profile photo. You are able to do that as well on Google. We'll get into that a bit later. And also, don't forget about videos. We can add up to 30-second videos onto our Google as well. So, it's so important. Again, we'll dig into this a bit later on. So once we plug in this data, we are pretty much ready to get going and to see it live. So we could just, again, hit continue. And then what we see here, this is our dashboard for our Google My Business. Business.google.com is the website. And then as you can see, it's a beautiful dashboard. And again, this is totally free, and you're going to see a lot of options in here that that we'll dig into as well. So it's really, this is the fun part here, and how to manage it. So does anyone have any questions up to this point? Because we are going to dig into each one of these aspects of the dashboard as well. Does anyone have any questions? No? Awesome. So we're going to keep going here. So the home tab was what we initially saw with the big overview. Now, the information pertaining to your business is going to be found as you click on the information tab. So once we do that, again, make sure that you're signed into Google, and the edits that you make are going to also show up in a few different spots. They're going to show up directly on your knowledge panel. And they're also going to show up on that nice maps page as well. And also, if you are not logged into, or if you don't have your business page pulled up with that beautiful dashboard, the cool part is that you can actually access your dashboard right by searching for your business, and then you can edit the information right there as well. Joel's signaling to me that we have a question.
Good morning, everybody. Let's see here. All right. I am in the office here with Julie, and we are question here from Arnold Smith Acres. They're asking, can we go back and change our business name after it has been created? Julie.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You can change your business name at any time. You can change your address at any time, phone number, website, whatever it may be. So great question. Absolutely. Yes, you can change your name, and you do that in that information tab as well. Actually right here, right? So great question. You were foreshadowing what we were actually going to talk about here. So yes, your business name should reflect real world name. It should be the name that is identifiable on your tax forms. And also and it should be the same name on your Facebook. It should be the same name on your Instagram, your YouTube. Same name across the board. We always want to be consistent, not only with our branding, but of course with our name, right? So after we enter our name, our business name, we're going to swing down and make sure that those categories are updated. So again, we can choose that one main primary category, and then after that, we can choose several other additional categories. So as you can see, our main category, we have several subs. We have Convention Information Bureau, Visitor Center, Tourist Information Center, several of them there. And we can add up to 9 additional categories. And we always, I think the best way to find out what categories you should be using is to search your competition. I love, creep on them, that we learn from our competition. We want to do better than them, right? So we want to see what they're doing, match it, but do better, of course. So those are the categories that we use, and also the subcategories. If you want to add one that pertains to your business, and then if you're not sure about it, just search your other competition and see what they're using, and then and you can always edit these as well. Absolutely. Now with the address, enter that as it pertains to your business. If you again have a business that is maybe based out of your home, but you don't want people coming to your location, you can take this off and you don't have to have an address. Because maybe, like I said, if you're based out of your home, and if you don't service people by an address, you have that option to leave it blank and just list your service area instead. So that is really, really a handy feature. And business hours, I cannot stress the importance of this enough. 40% of local business searchers want to find hours of operation. The nice thing is that maybe you're only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have a lot of shops in Dickinson, boutiques that are only open several days a week. So we can choose those hours. We can turn off the radio button for maybe Monday through Wednesday, but leave on Thursday through Friday. And the nice thing too, you're going to see where it says add hours. Maybe you're closed over a lunch hour. You have the option to put maybe 9 to 11 a.m. and then maybe 1 to 4 p.m. or, whatever you'd like. But please always make sure that business hours are updated. It's incredibly important because people are going to your knowledge panel to find hours. I do it all the time. It was a couple of years ago, my daughter and I were out shopping on a Saturday, and we wanted to go to a boutique in town here just to have a fun girls' day. And I checked their hours on their Google, and it said they were open. We get there, and unfortunately they were closed. It was disappointing for us, as of course a Google person, that they didn't have their hours updated because they lost a sale that day. I was frustrated, but you know what, if maybe I'm not the only one, maybe there were other people as well. So it really is so important to make sure your hours are updated, not only on your Google, but please update them on your Facebook. Please update them on your website. There's people that go to them as well to look for hours. So always make sure you're updated across the board and what I like to do is I have a list, when we update things for the season, and I just have a list, and I'll go to Facebook, I'll go to Twitter, I'll go to, I have a list of all of the places where I need to go and update these features. And once you have that made, then it's very seamless and very easy when you need to do that in the future. That way you don't miss anything. The cool thing here with the hours is that they now have features that allow you to put in, maybe you have specific drive-through hours, or maybe you have hours where your business is open only for senior citizens. The nice part is that you can add specific hours for those individuals, and you're just going to click that button where it says, add, and then go to apply, and then you can go through the process and update that information. It's very handy, especially now in the times that we're in. The importance of being updated online is so important, and it's nice to have these options through the Google Knowledge Panel as well. The create a short name and custom link. Not everyone uses these. I think it's really cool. You can create a short URL to make your business easier to share. And I'd like to use this on my social media, on our Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. Just last week, I had created a post where I use our shortened URL. It's just a direct link to your knowledge panel. So maybe you just added some updated information. Maybe you updated your description. Maybe you want people to leave you a review. You can create this shortened URL and custom link to drive people directly to your knowledge panel. It's just gives it a little more notice, and makes people aware that, yes, we are updated on Google as well. Check us out there too. Website and phone number, we cover that as well. A couple more things on the phone number, you can add up to 3 of them. So if you have your primary one, of course, we use our local number, but also we have our 800 number listed on our knowledge panel as well, because, not everyone's local that calls us. Actually, we love it when there's people that are out of state that want to come and visit Dickinson as well, where they want to use the 800 number. So please use 800 numbers as well, or if you have an additional service line. And then, of course, update the website. And like mentioned before, you can use a website that they will create for you. Attributes. So you can use these, or, you don't have to. They really just highlight really descriptive information about your business. Depending on what categories you choose, that will affect what attributes they offer to you. Every business will be offered different ones. Our office here is not Black owned, veteran led, or women led, and also we don't use online scheduling. So we don't use any attributes here at our office. So I just skip this part. I just hit cancel. But if you do have any of these highlights, please be sure and use them, because, frankly, some people love to visit businesses that are veteran led or Black owned, women led. I mean, people like supporting that. So be sure and update that if it pertains, of course, to your business. Business description, we already talked about that as well. And what we're doing is we're just going through everything listed within the information tab in the Google My Business section. Opening date. This is cool because if you, I know we kind of touched on it earlier, but if you aren't going to open for maybe a year, you can say that we will be opening soon, and you can actually put in a year out the date that you will be opening your business. So, some people maybe frequent businesses that are that have been open for a while because maybe they find them more credible, that they've been around and established for a longer period of time. So totally up to you. If you know the date of your business opening, if you want to plug that in, feel free. But again, everything here is optional, and so plug it in if you want to, or you can leave it blank, or you can edit it later on and change whatever you need to do. So appointment links, and again, this is a lot of these things are dependent on the category that you initially plug in. But if your business offers appointments, these are available to in-home businesses, educational, or also professional service businesses. If any of those categories pertain to you, you are welcome to use this feature if you want. There's a couple different websites that people use. MindBody or Appointly are a couple different programs that work well with this appointment link. So feel free to use it if you want, but again, just skip over it if you don't want to. It is totally optional. The bookings tab. This is really cool as well. So if you are a health beauty professional or other professional service companies, you have this option as well to offer services where people can book an appointment with you. And I know that there's a barber shop in downtown Dickinson that uses this program very, very often. So if you would like to, if you need to use the bookings tab, it's definitely there for you. And there's tons of different programs that sync very nicely with this. And if you click on the bookings tab, they'll actually give you a list of different websites that work well with them too. So they'll give you those options without you having to search for it too. The post tab, this is one of my absolute favorites. You can share information to your customers directly from your knowledge panel. And we're going to think this very similarly as we would think social media posts. So yes, it's basically like you got your Facebook on your knowledge panel. So it's really sweet. Different COVID-19 updates you can post. You can also post offers, products, and also the what's new in the events ones are the ones that I'm going to cover today, because they're the ones that I use most often. And but they all work very similarly. This is what they look like. This is just an example of what they could look like, I guess I should say. The what's new one, the product, if you sell items, people can view the photo, view the post, and then also click to buy that service right there from you. If you are offering a special discount, maybe you, the 10% off for showing us a picture of Bruno. I mean, that's kind of cute. So be creative with this as well. But again, think of it again like social media. If you're using posts on social media, just plug them in and plug them into your Google as well. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Let's not make this harder than it is, because everyone is so busy the way it is. Let's just copy that great post over and post it to our knowledge panel. And then of course, events, we can post them as well. And I really encourage you to do that. But we're going to get into how to do this, because I don't want you to be intimidated by this feature. I know there was someone I was visiting with very recently, and I was talking to them about their knowledge panel, and they were updated. They had great photos. I think they even had a video or two. And I said, so are you using the post feature yet? And they said, no, but hopefully one of these days we'll do it, depending on how much time we have. And it was like, oh no, because it really doesn't take that long to do this. It's again, we're think of this like social media, and we can, because for me at my office, I mean, I manage several different social media platforms. So the nice thing is that I oftentimes just copy and paste, right? Find that picture, copy and paste, but we also want to add that great URL back to our website. So please just don't create the wheel. Just use the same post as what we're using on social. So the what's new posts stay on Google for 7 days. Why is that? It's because they want us to provide them with updated information, and we want them to have relevant information about our business. If you don't post within 7 days, the post will actually go away. So it's kind of funny how that works. We had a question here on the chat. Can you link Facebook or Instagram? I'm assuming there are programs I don't use them. I can't even think of what it is offhand, but I can send it to Lori once we export this video, and I can get that to you. There are programs where you can sync your posts to your knowledge panel with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I'm not sure what it is offhand. That's a phenomenal question, because it would make things a lot easier, right? I will find that out, and I promise you I will send that to you. I'll send it to Lori, and then she can send that off to everyone else, because that's a really great question. It does make it a lot more seamless. I don't use linking. I don't use that linking service just because I like to go in there manually and do everything. But great question. I will follow up with you, I promise, on that. Watch your email for that. So within the what's new post, we can also add up to 300 words. So we can make this a lengthy post. As you can see, the example one that we have there on the Ukrainian Cultural Institute, I really like to use just simple text, because here's the thing. And here's a little trick for you too. I don't want to give everyone all the information right away, because if we give them everything right away, there's no reason for them to even come to your face. There's no reason for them, to go to your website. We want to have people going to our website because we want to be using our Google Analytics to be tracking our visitors, and we want them on that page so that we can see what pages they're interested in. We want to see where they're coming from and what kind of content interested them, so we know what to post in the future. So we want that traffic back to our website. So we don't want to give everything out away to them within the post. So, and also you can add up to 10 photos or videos. And the videos need to be 30 seconds or less. And yes, they do need to be uploaded. We cannot connect this to a video that is on YouTube. So I'm sorry, but you do need to upload the videos directly to the knowledge panel posts. And like I said earlier, at the very bottom, it says add a button optional. Please don't make that optional. Please make this a requirement. We want to, again, there's different options in there, like you see on the right hand side there. It says learn more in that blue button. That learn more is going to go right back to visit dickinson.com/UCI for Ukrainian Cultural Institute, because I made a shortened link because I want to track that traffic, right? So we want to always include that learn more. We don't want to have people having to search for the Ukrainian Cultural Institute in a search. We want to give it right to them, because they might get distracted, we might lose them, and then we're not going to get that data from them. So please make it easy for the user to just drive that traffic back to the website. So not only can we do the what's new posts, but we can also do great event posts. And I really encourage you to do this as well, because these stay on your knowledge panel until the event has passed, which is really cool. So if you're not sure what to post in your knowledge panel, post an event, because that's going to stay on there for a longer duration, especially if it's an event that's several months out or even several weeks out. Again, has a very similar feel as creating a Facebook event as well, or even similar feel as the what's new post that we did just previously. We can add up to 300 words, and we can also add up to 10 photos and videos. And of course, we always want to add that learn more button to go back to our website. You can also do a call now. Maybe you want people to call you. Here's the thing, if you do a call now, they can't call you from their computer. I can't anyway. Maybe you can, but I can't do that. So please give them a link back to your website to make it easy for the viewer to learn more about your business. Again, the posts not only show up on that main page where your knowledge panel shows, but it's also going to show up in that Google Maps. So when they're in Google Maps trying to find your business address to come see you, come purchase an item from you, they're also going to see those updates from you right there on your Maps listing as well. The cool thing about the posts is that we can see a couple different things. In our dashboard, this is only visible to the ones, of course, that posted this. You're going to see how many people viewed the post and also how many clicks you received from the post. So it's kind of small data on what you receive here. But again, if you want to track this, you can add maybe some tracking to the URL that you provide to the Learn More button back to your website, and you can track it that way. Also, if you want to share the post, you can share it on your social media. You can share it. You can share this post right onto your Facebook if you want to. You can share it onto your Twitter. So that option is there as well. And those 3 power dots on the right-hand side, if you want to edit the posts, if if this bull riding finals, maybe their ticket price changed. Maybe you're like, oh man, now they're at $20. What do we do now? You can edit it and then just change the text out. Or also if the event is, maybe the event is canceled. Maybe you just want to change something out on that. You can actually delete the event. And or if you want to change out the picture, you can also either add more, delete them, anything you'd like to do. These are all editable. They are not set in stone. It's actually a really seamless, easy process to update that. The photos tab, I can't stress this enough how important the photos section is. 90% of customers are more likely to visit a business that has photos on a search results page. I mean, think of it like this. If you're new to town, and like, let's say I have a hamburger business, but yet there's 2 other places in town that have that serve, great hamburgers. But yet what makes me stand out? Maybe the first business, maybe business A has no pictures, but yet they have their listing there, right? Maybe the second one has maybe like a couple like really low resolution photos, but maybe my business really stands out because my knowledge panel is updated. I got hours, I got my website, I got my phone number so they can call me and order. But you know what? I also have some great high resolution photos and maybe even a few videos. That is the one that people are going to come to that business because they are more credible. They care more about their business. They have these great eye-catching visuals of these mouth-watering food options at their establishment, or some beautiful purses for sale at maybe that boutique in the downtown. We want to have these great pictures on our knowledge panel because that's what people are seeing. That's what they're seeing before they come to your business. What are they going to expect when they walk through their door? By you giving them these options and by giving them these beautiful videos and photos, they know what to expect. And so really the work is done. You just have to have great customer service when they walk through your door and you're golden. That's a great sale. So with the photo section here, as you can see, we mentioned it earlier, it has a similar feel as your social media. We can choose that cover photo. That's the one at the top. We can choose our logo. So, we want to be consistent with our branding. We want to make sure that it pertains to our brand, right? Also, customers can add photos for businesses as well. I do this all the time, and I'll actually show you some data on that. If you have a 360-degree tour of your business or photos of the interior, exterior, you can classify them here in this section. And as you can see, you're going to see some nice numbers on how many views all those photos have had as well. So really encourage you to take advantage of that information. Different ideas for photos, use well-lit high resolution ones, and don't forget to add that cover and logo for your business as well. And don't forget about the videos because they are really important. The products tab is also important. If you sell items, you can go through and list what the price is. You can give a description. It's also a handy feature. And the cool thing is that if you have products, they actually show in a different section than your posts. They show actually above it. So you kind of have 2 pieces of real estate for some great photos on your knowledge panel if you do take advantage of the products tab. So definitely encourage you to do that if you offer products. So the services, we went over this earlier. This is just a little more in depth. Be sure and if you see a service that you offer, take advantage of it. If not, you can plug in your own. But as you can see there in that middle section where it says shoe repair shop, that's your primary category. The items listed below it are the services that Google is providing you based off of the category, again, that you selected. So if you offer any of them, be sure and put in some service details. But again, you don't have to fill in any of this. So if it doesn't pertain to you, just feel free to skip that section. Websites, just a little more in depth of what this looks like. If you actually click on the website, you can choose a theme, you can edit the text. And again, this is an option for you if you don't have a website, but please use the one that you have if you already own a domain. So it's there for you if you need it, basically. And the reviews tab, I can't stress this enough. If you have reviews on your knowledge panel already, feel free to go in there and acknowledge them, thank them for it. A couple of years ago, I was visiting with a bar owner in Medora, and he told me that he receives more reviews on Google on a weekend than he does on TripAdvisor, which to me was very shocking. It was at first, but then once I thought about it, I'm like, oh, well, not really surprising, because people are going onto Google anyway to find you. They're there anyway, so they're just going to review you right there rather than pulling up TripAdvisor. So please be timely. Please acknowledge the reviews that you receive. Again, it's going to add to your credibility, that, and the customers are going to see that you care about how they feel about your business. So please, please be timely in replying to them. If you want to, you can make a shortened URL to send people right to your reviews. So like ours is g.page/Dickinson CVB/review. So there's the shortened URLs that you can do right there in that section. But it just builds trust and loyalty, brand loyalty to your customers by being timely and replying again. The messaging tab, feel free to use this if you want to. I don't use it, but it's there if you'd like to. It's if people want to ask you questions, think of it like Facebook Messenger where you'll get the update. But again, you'll get a notification to your phone if you want to turn that on, if you care to interact with people, through messages like that. The users tab, this is really important actually. Again, very similar feel as your Facebook page admins. So you, of course, will be the owner of the page, but you can also select other people in your office to manage your listing. Maybe you have someone who will be doing the postings, or maybe you want to be the owner as the business owner, but yet you want to have other people be the admins on it as well, because I encourage you to not give all the roles to another individual, because let's face it, staff changes. And sometimes when they change, you don't want to get locked out, right? So you want to make sure that you are still in control of that user section, but yet you can add other people, and that way you don't have an issue later on down the road if there's, like I said, a change in staff. But again, you can add many people to control that page too. The insights page, the insights tab is really important as well. We can get information on how many people are searching for us, how they're finding us online. And we're going to get information on we can search by 1 week, 1 month, or 1 quarter. So it's really handy, the data that they provide us. And then also at the bottom of that section there, you're going to see queries used to find your business. I love this. And again, guys, this is free. So please take advantage of this section right here. The queries is very, very important, because they're giving you data right there on the words that people are using to find your business online. So what do we do with that information? We do not let it sit there. We take that information and we plug it into our website, onto the back end, because if we know what people are using to search for us, we can use that as keywords to improve our search engine optimization also on our website. So please, don't let that data sit there. Please, if you're not the one that will handle that, please give it to someone else in the office who controls that, or maybe your website company, but please give them that information. Again, the insights tab, just a lot of reports, the queries, you're going to find where people are viewing you on search or maps. Interesting enough that we have more people finding us on maps at our office than even in the search results, which is great, because that means people are trying to find us. But you get really great data in here. Also phone calls, you can see what time of the day, what day of the week people are finding you online. So it is really interesting, because maybe if you have heavier traffic at maybe like 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, well, maybe I should be pushing out some content on that post section on Wednesday around that time, because our traffic is heavier at that time anyway. So again, we're always learning from this data. And it's really going to improve your business overall. All of this information with this profile it's time consuming. I'm not going to say that it's not, but we just need to make it a habit. We need to make a habit of reviewing and updating our information, adding our business details, those great photos, those awesome videos, and also learning from the data, because it's really important. Again, not to let it just sit there, but to learn from it as well, because up-to-date profiles are 70% more likely to attract a location visit. So that's why it's so important. We are going to move on to another section here. But before we do, are there any questions on the Google My Business side? No questions? Okay. So I have a few things that I just love about Google in addition to what we just covered. First of all, the small thanks with Google is a free tool. Please, please, please take advantage of this. It's a free personalized marketing kit. A couple of years ago when I signed up for this, well, actually, it was probably 3 years ago now, time flies, they actually mailed me a kit. And I'll show you a picture here in a bit, but now what they're doing is you can download all of this information right from their website. So if you go to smallthanks.withgoogle.com, they will comprise these beautiful posters and social media posts and all this information that you can post directly to your Facebook and your Twitter, your Instagram, your knowledge panel. You can also do it as a post, and the information that they give you is based off of the information taken from our knowledge panel that we updated earlier, right? So it's basically encouraging people to you can encourage people to review your business with these. You can encourage people to, you can thank your customers for their great loyalty. But all of this kit is totally free, and it will include a customizable poster, social media posts, video. The video is really cool too, and a lot of other cool things. So please take advantage of this. Again, it's totally free. So why wouldn't you, right? This is just an example of, on the left-hand side, some of the kit information that they will that they'll give to you. You can print it off again, and also that massive poster on the right-hand side. That is what I received about 3 years ago when they actually used to mail them out. So maybe one day they'll go back to that. I don't know, but it's still, the online kit is amazing to take advantage of. Also, the Google Local Guides is a really cool free service, and it's accessed through Google Maps. And you can add photos for other businesses. You can give reviews. You can answer different questions. So as you can see, or even add missing details. A few years ago, I went through and I added 643 photos of different businesses in Dickinson, not just our office. You know, we work with the hospitality industry. So, you know, your lodging, dining, shopping, attractions, things like that. So I went in and I added a lot of pictures, because the better your community looks and the more that you can do to improve the overall view of your community, the better it's going to look to that future traveler as well. So we want to make sure that our photos are always shining on Google, and you can do that for other businesses as well. And so encourage people not only to claim their business like you are going to do, but please also to add those great photos, because I'm going to show you. I love this slide, and I just pulled this yesterday. So the Google Local Guides photos that I've added. So again, 646 photos I've added, over 9.6 million views those photos have had since May of 2018, when I first started adding content to Google. So this is just in 3 short years. It's amazing. And this is a snapshot of our top 4 photos in Dickinson. People are looking at pictures, and we know this because I see it. And it's funny because I'm the only one that has access to this. And every now and then I'll talk to a business owner and I'm like, oh my gosh, you should see what your numbers are. People are really searching for you. It's crazy. So I really encourage you all to take advantage of not only your knowledge panel, but really the proof is right here with these photos. It's so, so, so important. So I really encourage you to add them and just watch them grow. It's really fun to watch this photo section grow. This is just a snapshot of different pictures that I've added in a Google map view. Before we move on to some helpful resources, does anyone have any questions on that section? Nope. All right. Again, you can ask them in the chat and we can address them as well in a bit. So there's a few things that I want to touch on that are really, really, really important. Analytics plugins. Please do not be intimidated by these. They are free, and they will give you some great information about your business. The first one right at the top of the page there, just the top right, that is the Google Analytics plugin. And if you just type in page analytics and then Google Analytics in a Google search, you're going to find this plugin. And it's really handy because when I can turn it on or off, it doesn't always have to sit there. And then I can see when I go to different pages on our website, I can see the real-time views on that page. I can see how many organic searches. I can see where people are from that are on that page right now. It's really incredible. And this is a totally free tool. And the cool part is that, like, let's say I'm on my homepage and I'm seeing this great information, but I want to learn more about it. We don't just have to stop at this section. On the top there, it says view in Google Analytics in that blue. If you click that, it will take you directly to that page's information on your Google Analytics. And you're going to see some amazing data. And Google, your analytics on your website goes so deep. And so this is just what you see with this plugin is just a snapshot of it, just a snippet of what it could be. But once you go to the full view, it's really mind blowing. And again, we're going to learn from that information. And also the keywords everywhere tool. So I just have an example there. So like, let's say I'm typing in Dickinson, North Dakota restaurants. That keywords everywhere and also the Uber Suggest plugins will tell me keywords of what other people are searching for when they type in Dickinson, North Dakota restaurants. And you know what? We learned from this information. We can then take this information, plug it into the back end of our website, because this is free data. Maybe we need to be plugging in best restaurants in Dickinson, North Dakota, because that's what Uber Suggest says, or maybe we need to new restaurants or fast food, whatever it may be. And this is going to, of course, pertain to your business. But learn from this information and plug it into your website, because you know what? And I encourage everyone to do that. You live in Rugby, maybe you have a website, but it's not being found. There was a band that I worked with a couple of years ago, and he had a website. It was done. It was on. And when I looked at it, I said, I can't find you. You're not on Google. I can't find you. He wasn't indexed with Google. He had the mentality where if you build it, they will come. But he wasn't completed with the process, so people couldn't find him. So please don't have that mentality that just because you have a website and you maybe paid an arm and a leg for it, that people are just going to come to you. If you're not promoting it on your social media, if you're not promoting it on your Google, if you're not indexed with Google, they're not going to find you. So please make sure you go through all those steps. And because if you're not being found on that first page of a Google search, you're probably losing business, and you're probably losing a lot of future business and to your company. So please make sure that you're indexed and that your keywords are being updated, and we can learn that data right here from these plugins. And the cool thing is that not only are you going to learn this information from these plugins on your and just the regular Google search, but also when you swing over to YouTube, as you can see from the Dickinson Police Department's page there as well, you're also going to see those keywords, and these are ones that they put in on their video. So I love creeping on people. I mean, I swear I could be a detective in my future life, when I retire from the CVB, because I love doing research on people, and I love learning from them. But yet I love learning, but yet I like to always figure out how we can do better, right? So we can, if I'm maybe the Rugby Police Department, or maybe there's another one, or someone else who did a lip sync challenge, you can search other people like you, see what they're doing, and then use those keywords later for your information. Canva.com is huge. Oh my gosh, we use this. We have 3 people in our office. We use this several times every day. It's free, but best of all, it's easy. You can create your own custom marketing materials right here on this website. My coworker, Joel, who was taking the questions earlier, he just created the coffee cruise, and it's a beautiful, he designed all of the materials for it, and he did all of that in Canva. It's a coffee cruise along the Old Red Old 10 Scenic Byway, highlighting all the coffee shops. So I encourage you to go to visit dickinson.com/coffee cruise, because he's been really doing a great job. But the thing is, he started this marketing campaign, but he created it all in-house. We didn't hire it out. We don't have an ad agency here at our office. We have 3 people, and we're on a very limited budget here at the Dickinson CVB. So it is very important for us to find ways to create our own in-house materials. And this is a great program. And I'm sure a lot of you on the call today, maybe don't have access to a marketing ad agency either. But I guarantee you that if you use canva.com, you will really have beautifully designed items. There's a free version, and then there's also a premium version, but I use the free version at my, for some side stuff that I do, and you have tons of options. So I guarantee you'll have tons of beautifully designed items. You can export them and use them for social media. You can even make little videos out of them, little GIFs, and you can use them for social media posts, for your Google Knowledge Panel as well. Maybe that YouTube cover photo is always kind of a tricky one to find the size of that. Well, if you do a search in Canva, they'll actually tell you the exact dimensions, and they'll even give you some nice templates on ones that you can use for that. So I really encourage you to play around in Canva, and I guarantee you will find that it's extremely easy. And also you can post right to social media from Canva, which is nice as well. So it's very, very, very convenient. The Google Search Console is kind of you don't have to use it. It's kind of high level, but again, it's a free service that provides information based off of how people are searching for you in a search engine. And the nice thing about this is that it gives you information on errors on your page. You don't want to have errors on your website, because if you do, Google finds you as not credible. They might dock you and kick you down in your ranking because you have things that aren't working and functional on your website. So by you using the Search Console, it really helps your business to shine even more and Google search results. So maybe this isn't an option for you, but maybe it's something for someone else that does your website. And the Google Ad Grants, just want to briefly touch on it. If you are a 501c3, you can receive up to $10,000 of free Google advertising per month. It's crazy. I would love. We're a C6 here at the CVB, so unfortunately we can't use this, but I would love to fiddle around to see how this works. They are only text-based ads on Google. They are not, you can't use pictures on them. So but if they have a list of criteria, and it's a slew of criteria. It's a lot. But if the criteria is met, you can apply and receive this great grant. Google.com/grants is the website to go to sign up for that. And then also, if you are a C3, but if you're kind of like, is it worth it going through the process? What if I'm not accepted? I mean, I always say it's better to try than to not. But they give you examples of different websites of different businesses who have qualified for it before. So it kind of lets you know if it's worth it or not. But I definitely, if you are a C3, please check that out. And this is just a quick snapshot of just some other Google products. A lot of them are free. I use many of these throughout the day. Before the call, Lori and I were visiting about Google Forms. If you're ever wanting to send out a survey or a form of any kind, I use Google Forms all the time. It's, again, free. You can even get again, if you're sending out a survey, you can even get an email every time someone submits a form. It's really handy. And then you can export it into a beautiful file for Excel as well to collect those emails and maybe use it for an email campaign later on. So a lot of free services throughout Google. The ones that we talked about today are the ones that I use on a daily basis. We started this whole process with Google back in May of 2018. And I mean, we don't get to over 9 million photo views by not being present. We are helping our community to shine. The better that we look online. Everyone's online, everyone's searching for you. So the better that you can make your community look, it's good for the people living here. It's good for job retention, for even getting future people to work in your community. And it also helps with, promoting tourism, because people are going on there to, and that future sale to your business as well. So the better we look online, that's where everyone's looking anyway to find your business. So we always want to make sure that we're updating our information, plugging in those great photos and videos. And the thing is I'll be the first to say I know that it takes time. It's a huge time suck. I know, because I do it. But you know what? In the end, I see the great results that we get. And for me, that's worth it. because it's promoting our town. And I mean, what better thing to do than to do everything that you possibly can to do your job to the fullest. And, you know, maybe you guys, maybe there's other staff that are going to be doing this. I would just, you know, give them the tools, and then, you know, help them periodically with it, and just encourage them to be like, you know, just take one at a time. You know, you don't have to do everything at once. It's no different than, you know, social media. You don't need to be on every social media, you know, just do the ones that you can do best, and just focus on them. So just take it day by day. It's a lot. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. I do want to overwhelm you a little bit, just because I want you to have a lot of information. But if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time. No questions? Feel free to email Lori later on. You can email me questions as well. I will be sending out this presentation later today, in addition to answering that question about linking Facebook and Instagram on that question that we had earlier. So if there is any other questions, excuse me, that funnel through, please send them over to me. I'm happy to address them and when I send over the presentation. And I really also want to applaud your director, Lori, for seeing the value in this online information, because if you don't have someone that believes in it, you know, it's hard to promote it, or it's hard to share it with other people. But she definitely sees the value in this. So I do applaud her for, you know, bringing me in today. And also thank you to you all for joining me, and please don't be overwhelmed. If we can do it with a small staff of 3, I guarantee you that you guys can all do it as well.
Thank you so much, Julie. I know I learned a ton. I was maybe a little fortunate that we do already have Google My Business and it's claimed. So as you were walking through things, I was clicking on them. So I guess I just, you know, go in and make sure your business is showing up, and then come back to this presentation, because it's easy to just, you know, I have my 2 computers open, so I'm adding hours. I don't know, our hours weren't even on ours. So I just learned a lot by doing it. So I so appreciate you and what you've done. As you said, if there's any questions that you think of later, give me a call, email me if you didn't write down Julie's here, and I will just get that to her. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate all of you jumping on. We did have 28 registered, but I know a few of them wanted to listen to it at a later date. So thank you all. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Any questions? Now's your time. Thanks, everybody. You have yourself a good rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks. Have a great day.